Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Merry Christmas. It's getting close. So you guys know I'm not doing a ton for Christmas this year. Greg put up our Christmas tree, which looks beautiful, and I hung up some stockings, which I think I pretty much hang the stockings up for decoration every year because they look so cute. And the other thing I always do is pull out my Christmas books. Now, I have a shelf in my office that is all Christmas books, and I have a few that are interspersed with collections like my misreads. They're in a couple different places. But I thought it would be fun to talk about the Christmas books that I pull off the shelf and set out to flip through every single year. These are my all-time favorites. They're so cozy and they make me so happy. And I wanted to share them with you. Now, you've probably seen a few of these before. I don't think anybody's going to be really surprised with what's on this list. But it's just a lot of fun. I love Christmas books. I love Christmas reading. At the end of the month, I will share the fiction books that I've been reading because I have been reading some cozy Christmas fiction too, which I love every year. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with my favorite, which is Christmas with Rosamund Pilcher. You guys know I love Rosamund. And this is look how beautiful she is. This is a Christmas book that is all about how her and her family celebrate Christmas. Sadly, she is no longer with us. She died a few years ago. But I love reading through this book and looking at their family pictures. And it's so beautiful and cozy. And I just love reading about the way they celebrate Christmas. She talks about, here's her and her husband. So there's a lot of text in this book, and she talks about what they do for Christmas, how they celebrate, what they eat, which I absolutely love. And then next is my other favorite, Misread. These are all of the Misread Christmas books that I have. And so these three are funny because they are, this one is a tiny little novella. This is Village Christmas. And I would love to find more of her little Christmas stories in these little small editions, because I think what they did with these is they put a lot of her Christmas stories in these bind ups, and a lot of them are duplicative. So like this one, I think has got some clips from her other books, just a couple of like cozy Christmas chapters. It's got a story called The White Robin, which I don't love. A story called Jingle Bells, which I think is from one of the Fairacre books. So I would love to find more of these. And then this cute one is Village Christmas, which is this, and The Christmas Mouse. So I do tend to reread Village Christmas and The Christmas Mouse because it's short and they are very sweet, cozy Christmas stories. And I love them. I love the illustrations. I love the stories. And then I do have a novel, full-length novel, No Holly for Miss Quinn. I believe this is set in the Fairacre world, which is one of her long series, but you can definitely read this as a standalone. This is about Miss Quinn, who plans to spend Christmas by herself and paint her cute, cozy little cottage, but situations and her family intervene and things do not go as planned, and it's wonderful. And then lastly, Miss Reed does also have a Christmas book. This one I don't love quite as much as the Rosamund Pilcher one, because this one is more of it's a compilation of Miss Reed's favorite things. So it's it's poetry, it's stories, it's artwork, but it's not written by her. It's her favorite, some of her favorite writings and things. So I enjoy this one, but I don't love it as much. I wish it was more like the Rosamund Pilcher one, where it's photos of the inside of her house and her Christmas table. I love those kinds of pictures, but sadly, no. So Miss Reed and Rosamund Pilcher, two of my favorites. Another favorite of mine is, of course, Susan Branch. I've got this little keepsake book from the Heart of the Home, which is Christmas Joy. And this is just, it's a little small snippet book, which is so cute. I just love her artwork. Here is There's No Business Like Snow Business. Like no business I know. And it's a kid playing in the snow. It's just sweet. There is a picture of her table. So this is a ton of fun. And this is a bigger version, something similar. This is Christmas from the Heart of the Home. And these are just the coziest. Sadly, I lost a bunch of my Susan Branch books when my cat had a E. coli infection, and she was having accidents all over the house, and she had one on my stack of my favorite books, which is right here. I no longer keep my favorite books there because that tends to be her spot, but this is a fun book because it's got recipes. Here is her Christmas Day plan, which I love. Give overnight guests a little breakfast in bed. Some coffee and warm pumpkin bread with some red grapes is plenty. Put all on a tray with flowers, lace napkins, pamper them a little bit. I love that idea. So it's just stuff like that throughout this book, which is beautiful and so much fun. Next, I have a kid's book. I have a bunch of kids' books for Christmas, which I love. But this is my favorite, and I didn't pull them all out because I wanted to keep this video fairly short, but this is probably my favorite. It is my favorite Christmas short story for kids, which is Mr. Willoughby's Christmas Tree. All about Mr. Willoughby, who his Christmas tree. Is Mr. Willoughby the first guy? He gets a Christmas tree. It's big, and it's too big to fit in his allegedly or clearly, not allegedly, clearly big house. But it's too big to fit, so they cut off the top, which is very funny to me because a tree with the top cut off would be kind of funny looking. It would lose its little point, but that misses the point of the story. So he cuts off the top, somebody else takes it, the maid takes it, puts it in her room, but it's a little too big for her spot, so she cuts off the top. And then it ends up, the tree just gets littler and littler and littler until, let's see, who's the last person to get the tree? It's adorable. I seem to remember this being a cartoon when I was a kid, but I looked and I could not find anything. So it may have just been that my mom read me this story, but I could have sworn it was a cartoon. If you ever saw a cartoon of this, not the 1995 one, because I was clearly not a kid in 1995, but it would have been probably in the 70s. I would love to hunt that down, but it could be that it doesn't exist, and I'm just remembering reading this book. It's so cute. Okay, next is A Christmas Carol. I, of course, had watched A Christmas Carol every single year since I was forever. But I had never, until I got on BookTube, I had never actually read it. And so last year or the year before was the first time I actually read the story. If you have not read it, read the book. It is so good. It's short. This is how long it is. This book contains, in addition to A Christmas Carol, it also contains the chimes and the cricket on the hearth. So it's got a couple of the other Dickens stories that I love in here, but of course Christmas Carol is my favorite, and reading it is absolutely wonderful. Then I've also got some short stories. This is 7 Stories of Christmas Love by Leo Buscaglia, and I love Leo. He also sadly has died years ago. He was a teacher back in the 80s. Here's a picture of him on the back. He was well known because he liked to give everybody hugs, and so he was dubbed the love teacher, I think, which nowadays would probably be a little bit creepy. But he was sweet and genuine, and I absolutely love his writing, all about loving each other. And he has a really good book I love. Do I have it handy? I don't. Called Living, Loving, and Learning, and it's all essays and talks that he gave primarily about teaching. I'm not a teacher, but it's still, I think, feel really relevant. And this is just stories of his travels and the love he encountered on travels, on certain experiences that he had. It's short. It's wonderful. Next, all right, this is a classic. I can't have Christmas without Delia. This is Delia Smith's Christmas. It's the edition I got on Thrift Books. It's not in very good shape anymore, but I love it. I don't think I've ever cooked anything out of this book, but I love the pictures. I love listening to Delia in my head. She's got this list of what order to do things in, how to prep for your big Christmas dinner. I don't ever do a big Christmas dinner or even a big Thanksgiving really anymore. But I love reading these preps on how people plan for things, grocery shopping, getting your table set early, getting things ready. So this is wonderful for that. She's got some videos on YouTube. They're not posted by her, they're posted by other people, that are also she's got some Christmas shows that are so good. And then this is Christmas with Mary Englebright. Here Comes Santa Claus. And this is another compilation stories, recipes, pictures. It's hard to fit this in. It's a big book. It's skinny, but it's fairly big. There are hostesses who know the secrets of entertaining with joy. The fun comes in thinking about exciting ways to entertain that don't break the piggy bank, but seem special and extravagant nonetheless. And then she just goes on to have recipes and table settings. It's just absolutely charming, and I love her art style. I think it's so cute and cozy. So this one gets flipped through a lot in Christmas. And then my favorite cookbook, my favorite Christmas cookbook, my favorite cookbook probably of all time, and the thing that I flip through every single year and have for many years, is Nigella Lawson, Nigella Christmas. I love Nigella. I love the way she speaks. I can hear her voice in my head, and her voice comes through so well on every page of this book. She's got, of course, tons of recipes, but also planning, prep. There's great pictures, and every recipe's got like a little intro, and I just love them. So this one starts out, I'll be honest, I never thought I'd write a Christmas book, but then not so long ago, I never actually thought I'd become a food writer. I hadn't rejected either idea, it just never occurred to me. That's how life works, and so much the better for it. I accept with gratitude that what makes one happiest cannot be planned. This is not to say I have anything against Christmas, far from it. Almost every book I've written has a chapter, and it goes on and on and on. So she talks about Christmas, how she gets ready. It's wonderful. I've folded down corners on things I want to cook. Have never cooked. We'll see. One of these days I might make some stuff out of this book. But I love the introductions. I love the recipes. I love the pictures. Here's a beautiful table picture. The food pictures in this book are just glorious. So yeah, I'd love to hear any of your favorite Christmas books. What are you reading this month? I will tell you, like I said, the fiction books I've been reading, because I've been having some fun reading some fiction books. And yeah, I hope you're having a great holiday season, and I will talk to you later.